103.5 FM immediately after Angeles, 6 o'clock a.m. and 6 o'clock p.m. weekdays. Stay tuned to be updated, to be informed. News updates, live reports. Ebonadi FM breaks the news with actualities.
I believe that if we are looking for a new Nigeria,
you can as well listen online via mixlr.com/gistfm.
Good evening and welcome to Ebonadi 103.5 FM News Update. Today, Monday, the 23rd day of January 2023, and the time is a minute past the hour of 6. Martin Ifan Shukwekize is my name. The headlines. Anambra government committed to producing 1,000 youth millionaires yearly. Commissioner. Political earthquake hits Delta as PDP Premier Group, DUG, declares support for APC. Fulani herdsmen invade Mpunando Aguleri in Anambra, terrorize villagers with AK-47 rifles. Imo West senatorial candidate Jones seek judicial review to restore candidacy. INEC deploys more staff, ad hoc staff for PVC's collection in Enugu. Burkina Faso's military government demands French troops leave the country within 1 month. Now, details. Anambra government committed to producing 1,000 youth millionaires yearly. Commissioner. Anambra government has reiterated its determination to make 1,000 youth millionaires every year through various youth-centered policies and programs. Commissioner for Youth Development, Mr. Patrick Ahamba, said this shortly after a statewide sensitization on Close the Gap Initiative program, which ended at Anambra Central Senatorial District. Ahamba, who joined in the roadshow in Anambra South Senatorial District to raise awareness on the program, said that it was aimed at equipping every youth in the state with 2 marketable skills. He said that the ministry had earlier completed the sensitization in Anambra North and South Senatorial District. Ahamba said that the registration for 1 youth 2 skills solution, which was designed to provide employment to the hitherto unemployed youth, started sometime in 2022. He, however, expressed the regret that only 60 out of 179 communities responded in spite of the awareness. The commissioner encouraged youths and communities to embrace the program, noting that it was an antidote to criminality, youth unemployment, and restiveness. In our action plan, we hope to bridge the gap by bringing together communities and relevant stakeholders with the government. We are from the grassroots and we must give back to the grassroots. According to him, successful trainees will proceed to the next phases comprising entrepreneurship program, business financing, and mentorship for 1 year. On his part, the traditional ruler of Okpono, Oka South Local Government Area, Igwe S.I. Okafo, said that he had made concerted efforts to ensure that all the traditional rulers from Anambra Central Senatorial District keyed into the program. Okafo thanked Governor Chukwuma Soludo for his lofty policies for the youth in the state, urging them youths to take the program seriously in order to improve their lives. Political earthquake hits Delta as PDP's premier group, DUG, declares support for APC. A political earthquake has hit Delta State as the People's Democratic Party PDP mainstream wing, Delta Unity Group, DUG, declared for the All Progressive Congress, APC, with a commitment to vote all candidates of the party in the 2023 general elections. This was revealed on a statement signed by Ima Niboro, Director, Communications and Media Strategy, Delta APC Campaign Council, and member APC Presidential Campaign Council at a special declaration rally Sunday, January 22nd at the St. George's College, Obinomba. Thousands of DUG members donning their signature red shirts and hats, led by its chairman, three-time member of the House of Representatives, Right Honorable Daniel Renju, ex-House Speakers, Chief Monday Ibuya, and Right Honorable Olisa Imewu, among others, declared formally for the APC, Niboro stated, and obviously elected Senator Obioma Agege, Deputy Senate President and Delta APC governorship candidate, said he was unaware but not surprised by the development. But frankly speaking, who would have believed 2 years ago that the people who made things happen in the PDP would tear the umbrella and join the APC? We have always made the case that Delta State under Governor Kowa is not the state we inherited from our parents. Look around, no roads, schools, and health facilities are in very poor condition. Retirees are dying, their gratuities and pensions unpaid, yet Governor Kowa wants to secure a third term through his stooge, Oboro Warrior. Fulani herdsmen invade Mpunando Aguleri in Anambra, terrorized villagers with AK-47 rifles. The traditional ruler of Mpunando Aguleri in Anambra East local government area of Anambra State, His Royal Highness Igwe Johnson Mbanefo, has sent a Save Our Souls message to the government of Anambra State and the security agencies over invasion of the community by Fulani herdsmen, terrorizing villagers with AK-47 rifles, while their cattle destroyed farmlands in the area. Lamenting about the sad situation in his domain, Mbanefo told news correspondents that villagers have scampered for safety and that none could do anything for fear of being killed by the marauding elements. Although the traditional ruler told news correspondent that Divisional Police Officer Otuosha Division and local vigilantes had launched a reprisal attack on the armed Fulani herdsmen, but they could not apprehend any of the Fulani herdsmen has obscured with their guns on seeing them. Mbanefo said the DPO saw the level of damage and destruction done to the farmlands as cassava and other crops planted immediately after the 2022 flood disaster were all destroyed by their cattle. Mbanefo also forwarded the SOS letter he wrote to the Anambra East Council chairman and copied others seeking urgent rescue of his community from the terror and mayhem of armed Fulani herdsmen blocking the area. Meanwhile, the Director General Mayit Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria, MACBAN, Southeast Zone, Alhaji Gidado Sidiki, who spoke with news correspondent on Mpunando Aguleri attack, said those who attacked the community were not members of Mayit Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria. Gidado said, from our official record in Anambra, we don't have cows in Mpunando Aguleri because those guys are coming from Kogi State. There is a place called Baji local government in Kogi State. The Baji has a common boundary with Aguleri. Maybe they are staying from that place to Anambra, but from our records, we don't have cows in Mpunando Aguleri, Enugwotu Aguleri, Ezi Agulotu. All these communities have common boundary with Kogi State, and we don't have cows there, he affirmed. Imo West senatorial candidate Jones seeks judicial review to restore candidacy. Barely weeks to February election, the People's Democratic Party PDP Imo West senatorial district candidate Dr. Jones Onyereri is seeking a judicial review of the Supreme Court's judgment, which nullified his candidature for the upcoming elections. Onyereri has defeated member representing Olu East in the House of Representatives, Jerry Alaboso, and the former member, House of Representatives, Nnamdi Thank God Ezani, during the party's primary election held on May 26, 2022, to pick the PDP ticket. But the two other candidates took him to court, challenging the validity of the primary election and Onyereri's candidature, though the High Court and Appeal Court had earlier ruled in his favor. The Supreme Court recently nullified the primary election on the ground that it was illegal. The Apex Court ruled that the primary was not held in Imo West, thereby making it a nullity. Justice Emmanuel Agim, in a judgment on the appeal filed by Ezani, ruled by the PDP, violated Section 87, subsection 9 of the Electoral Act by conducting the primary election outside the venue stipulated by law. The court nullified the primary election on the ground that it was conducted in Owerri, the Imo state capital, instead of Olo, being the senatorial headquarters of Imo West. The court also held that since the time for conduct of primary election to nominate candidates was already over, it was deemed that the Imo PDP would not have a candidate in the February 25th National Assembly poll, while expressing disappointment with the Supreme Court judgment, which has brought Jones' campaign to a halt. Some of his supporters said he was built to easily win the election next month. They said intercessions are being made to God on Jones's behalf for the restoration of his ticket. But in a chat with news correspondent, Jones expressed dismay with the Apex Court's judgment, stating that the Independent National Electoral Commission was properly informed about the movement of the PDP primaries from Olo to Wure due to widespread insecurity at the time. He added that the judgment becomes more confounding considering the fact that INEC representatives also witnessed the primary election, addressing the crowd of supporters who recently turned out at a reception held for him. Jones appealed for calm and assured them that with God on his side, he would return to the ballot. We still have till February 25th. Anything can happen. I am going for judicial review, and I'm sure I will come back on the ballot. In the meantime, I appeal to you all to vote for all other PDP candidates in the upcoming elections, he stated. INEC deploys more staff, ad hoc staff for PVC's collection in Enugu. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, says he had deployed more staff and ad hoc staff to permanent voters' cards PVC's collection centers in wards and local government levels within Enugu. INEC has fixed February 25th for presidential and National Assembly elections, as well as March 11 for the governorship and the State House of Assembly elections. The INEC Residential Commissioner, REC, in Enugu State, Dr. Chukwuemeka Chukwu, told newsmen in Enugu on Sunday that it was imperative that more hands were deployed to wards and council areas with large numbers of uncollected PVCs. According to him, for collection of PVCs, INEC announced December 12, 2022 to January 22nd, 2023. However, extended it by a week. INEC mapped out a program from January 6th to January 16th for the ward level distribution, and when the commission saw the surge in collection, they extended the ward collection to January 22nd. Then the collection of PVCs will go back to the local government from the ward levels from January 23rd to January 29, 2023. On our review, we found out that some of the ward and local governments have quite a number of uncollected PVCs. So we already deployed more staff and ad hoc staff in those areas to help in issuance of the PVCs to the rightful owners. So for INEC, we are doing our best to see that the people of Enugu State and Nigeria as a whole collect their PVCs in general, he said. Now we move over to the foreign scene. Burkina Faso's military government demands French troops leave the country within 1 month. The military government of Burkina Faso has demanded the departure of French troops from the country, according to the government press agency. France has exactly 1 month to remove its troops from Burkina Faso, according to the terms of 2018 agreement, news reported, citing sources. The military government denounced last Wednesday the agreement, which has governed since 2018, the presence of the French armed forces on its territory, as reported on Saturday. France still has 400 special forces based in Burkina Faso, according to reports, to help fight Islamist militants linked to Al-Qaeda and the Islamic State after years of violence in the region. On Friday, residents in the capital took to the streets to protest the presence of French troops in the country. Some protesters carried the national flags of Burkina Faso and Russia. In December, Ghanaian President Nana Akufo-Addo said the Burkina Faso military government invited in mercenaries from the Russian private military group Wagner. Burkina Faso Deputy Minister for Regional Cooperation, Jean-Marie Traoré, called the claims very serious in a press conference on December 16 after the government summoned the Ghanaian ambassador. France, the former colonial power, first entered the Sahel region in January 2013 at Mali's request and launched Operational Serval, a United Nations sanctioned ground and air operation against Islamist militants. French President Emmanuel Macron announced in June 2021 that the mission would be replaced by a more international effort, and Western troops began withdrawing from Mali in February last year, though they remained in Burkina Faso. On January 24, 2022, Burkina Faso's army seized power, deposing former President Roch Kabore and dissolving the government and parliament. The military suspended the constitution's borders. Lieutenant Colonel Paul Henry Damiba was installed as the West African country's new leader. Damiba's time in power proved short-lived, however, as he was ousted from the country's top position during a coup d'etat in October 2022. Army Captain Ibrahim Traore was subsequently appointed as the country's new president. This is where we draw the curtain on news updates on Airborne Ade 103.5 FM. But before we leave, a quick look at the headlines. Anambra government committed to producing one commissioner. Political earthquake hit Delta as PDP's premier group, DUG, declares support for APC. Fulani herdsmen invade Mpunando Aguleri in Anambra, terrorize villagers with AK-47 rifles. Imo West senatorial candidate Jones seeks judicial review to restore candidacy. INEC deploys more staff, ad hoc staff, for PVC's collection in Enugu. Burkina Faso's military government demands French troops leave the country within 1 month. You just listened to news updates on Ebona at 103.5 FM. News produced and read by Martin Ifan Shukwe. Thank you for listening to Ebona at 103.5 FM news update. Once again, good evening. So, subscribe, like the video,
updates on Ebona,
let's get updated.
immediately after Angeles.